Okay, good evening, everyone, and welcome to the Newcastle Town Board meeting of November 19th, 2024. The board has been in executive session and we are about to convene our work session to be followed by town board meeting. So may I have a motion to open the work session?
So moved.
Second.
Okay, all in favor, please say aye. Aye. Okay, so we're going to start off with a discussion of a resolution in support of the town of Newcastle's environmental determination in accordance to SECRA for the decommissioning of Upper Minkle Dam. So Jill, would you like to start?
Yeah, so tonight we have with us both Sabrina Charney-Hull, our Director of Planning, and Bob Cioli, our Town Engineer. Who decided to start first? Bob or Sabrina?
We didn't decide.
Ladies first.
Chivalry is not.
I'm happy to review the resolution with the board, but just to put this in context, you previously have declared your intent to be lead agency as it is our dam. You've taken ownership over that. You've had Tectonic Engineering working on the project. You have reviewed the full environmental assessment form, and I submitted to you a bit ago the part 2 and the part 3, which does an analysis of impacts. What is new before you this week is the determination of significance. And the determination of significance evaluates each of the 20-something categories within the SECR regulations to determine the impacts and how any impacts that do arise are being mitigated. As you all know, that this is a project where there is a dam and impoundment that will be lowered, will be removed, and the area is to be restored. So on its face, there are, whatever impacts that will be seen will be mitigated. And that's what the environmental determination goes through. I'm happy through point by point if you want me to, but the resolution just kind of goes through the history of the project, goes through all of the decision making that's been made to date, and declares the project to not have any significant environmental impact.
Okay, thank you, Sabrina. And just to be clear for people who aren't familiar, this is the Upper Minkle Dam in the Sunny Ridge property that the town acquired. When was it, in 2001 that we acquired? I think that's what that's in the resolution that the town took possession of, well, not just the Upper Minkle Dam, but Sunny Ridge property, which is open land.
Right.
And so and the DEC has deemed it a Class C high hazard dam, and they are
Correct.
supportive of the decommissioning and restoring the area to natural streams and surrounding wetland plantings, etc. As you mentioned,
And just so to be clear, anytime someone says a high hazard dam, that does not mean that it was impending doom, that it was going to be breached or broken. It's just
Okay,
the way
yeah.
it's it's important to
Just to be
understand that's
clear.
what it is.
yeah,
Right,
those
and-
are, alarming words. I
Yes, they're
recognize.
very alarming.
Right. I think it's also worth noting that the New York State DEC reevaluated dam status. And so reassigning this dam high hazard status is relatively new in regard to DEC's regulations. We explored both upgrading the dam to meet DEC's high hazard dam standards and removing the dam. DEC is in support of us removing the dam, but it is in no way a danger to anybody. Removing that structure does not affect groundwater levels in the surrounding area. It does not impact any type of water supply issue. We are able to remove the dam because the dam located downstream in the town of Ossining was upgraded, and the associated work to upgrade that dam to a high hazard dam was conducted.
And that was the reason this became an A as well, because the improvements to the downstream dam in Ossining made this a Class A as well. And the DEC's infinite wisdom.
And also, we did receive FEMA funding, did we not, through their, I see their Building Resilient Infrastructure and Communities Grant Program and through Westchester County.
Yes.
So
Correct.
how much of the work do those grants cover?
An increasingly shrinking
I'm
percentage.
sure. Well, you can let us know, but
Yeah,
I'd be curious to
it's,
know.
yeah, it gets to be a depressingly small percentage
Right.
as we,
Better than nothing.
yes, definitely better than nothing, but not as large as it should be. Bob, do you have anything to add to this? I know you do.
Yes, we're working with FEMA right now, New York State Department of Homeland Security, they're trying to get a little bit more money out of them. They're gonna fund about almost 60% of the engineering design. Keep in mind too, guys, we do have a IMA with the county through a stormwater grant, and they're paying 50% of the design as well. We have to remind them in a nice way next year, to make sure the Board of Legislators put that on their discussion to get an IMA for the construction cost with the county, so that's something we should keep in mind to do in the future. And we're gonna be looking for other types of grants as well to cover the cost of the project, which has been escalating over the past several years.
Okay. So does anyone have any questions
questions?
for Sabrina and Bob?
No, appreciate the update.
Okay.
Thank you both.
Okay, thank you.
You're welcome.
Thank you very much.
Have a good night. Thank you.
And
Bye-bye.
I'm assuming this
Bye.
resolution is on our current list of, is it in the consent agenda? I am not seeing it, but that's why I'm asking.
No.
It's not, so can we get that?
Yes.
Yeah, the actual resolution is in the packet, so we'll just we'll just add it.
Yeah, I see it.
Oh, okay.
Okay, so we can work with that.
We just skip all the whereas.
Yeah, we'll work with it.
Okay.
Don't wanna forget it.
Okay.
Great, let's see. Turning to administrative items, there's a retroactive payment of claims for checks dated November 15th, 2025. Adoption of monthly reports for October and adoption of minutes. The next two items have to do with the moratorium that the board decided last meeting to pursue. Lino has been kind enough to provide us with two separate proposed moratoriums. One is authorization to set a public hearing on the moratorium regarding battery energy storage systems, also known as BESS. And that's gonna be for January 14th of 2025. And an additional public hearing on a moratorium regarding commercial solar arrays, also for January 14th, 2025. So we'll be hitting the floor running next year. Next is authorization to establish the capital project and budget for the Millwood Park Playground and Tennis Court, as well as the ADA access improvement projects. The creation of the capital projects allows us to take and then pay the bills after we've done all the work in the area. I think the last part of the Millwood improvement is just the installation, I shouldn't say just, but the installation of the guardrails. They did a fabulous job out there. We're just waiting for that last ADA component to be installed. Next is authorization to approve the 2025 refuse and recycling calendar and SAP insert. Mike Sicali does a fabulous job every year of putting together the refuse and recycling calendar, and SAB takes advantage of the fact that nobody throws out that calendar to take and put an insert in to just alert the community to some of our projects. Next is National Diabetes Awareness Month. We're gonna be asking the board for permission to light the gazebo in blue in honor of National Diabetes Awareness Month. The next two are street opening permit bond releases. Work has been done to the satisfaction of DPW, and we can take and release the funds that we were holding as a guarantee. Next is authorization to purchase and install replacement tile for the town hall lobby bathrooms. Believe it or not, they're actually over the winter, we're planning on redoing the ladies' room and then the men's room upstairs. They're in dire need. Don't know if anybody's noticed.
Does the town board get to choose the fixtures?
Probably not.
I'd
Such
rather
an
we
eye
not.
for design.
Would you like to? I'll ask both of you.
No.
Actually, you should do the tiling, Jeremy.
He's more of a gardener. authorization to for additional charges on the post issuance of a purchase order, and that's for precision trenchless. Does anyone have any questions insofar as our administrative items go?
No, I just wanna mention that at the last meeting, we discussed the moratorium on the battery energy storage systems and on solar array systems, so.
The commercial solar arrays, so these would be
Commercial.
large scale.
Yeah,
This does
so
not affect,
we did have a discussion on that and I just wanna make sure that, wanna know if anyone has any further questions on that.
Yeah, and
Okay.
just to echo what Jill said, the solar moratorium, you already have a solar in your zoning code, you already have definitions of solar and various solar projects. This moratorium only deals with freestanding ground mounted solar and large scale solar collection systems or solar farms. So ground mounted, not ground mounted, like roof mounted are not included in this. This is really for solar farms and ground mounted only.
Great.
And this is a moratorium for the purpose of studying environmental and health and safety impacts.
Yep, and also
Of
the
these
zoning to see
systems.
where these type of facilities would be appropriate, if at all, in the town.
Lena, would like the canopies that go like for parking that are solar, would those fall under this?
If it's ground mounted, if it's considered ground mounted, it would
Okay,
cover this. It would be part of the moratorium.
thank you.
But there's also waiver provisions, so if someone feels aggrieved, they can apply for a waiver of the moratorium. And there's a provision, by law, you have to have that set forth in the moratorium. So that's in both the BESS and also the solar law. And both moratoriums they're set for 6 months.
and that's 6 months from
The
the
time
time
it's
it's
adopted.
approved,
Right,
so
correct.
from January 14th or some date after
Correct.
that. Okay, great.
Thanks for getting those to us.
Okay, I think that does it for the work session and we're a little early.
We said immediately following.
Immediately following, we can go.
I know, but we have some guests coming in to
At 7.
begin at 7, so we can
I
start.
see some trickling in.
Okay,
6:57, we're doing pretty well actually.
okay. All right, so may I have a motion to to adjourn the work session and open the town board meeting?
So moved.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Okay, so let's go ahead with the meeting. Jill, do you have any announcements?
No,
No announcements. I'll reserve some of my supervisor's report for next for the town newsletter, but I just wanted to say that we had a fantastic volunteer recognition dinner. Last Thursday, we honored Eric Nicolason. And I just wanna say that we are really grateful to all of our volunteers, that every year we pick one, and Eric has done an incredible amount of he has great contributions to our town, and he's been a lifelong member of the resident of the town. And he was actually on the town board for 2 years, starting in 1980, and then he was Newcastle Deputy Supervisor. He was a member of the Board of Assessment Review, and he's still a member. He's been a lifetime member of the Chappaqua Fire Department. He's been a fire commissioner of the Chappaqua Fire Department. He's been a lifetime member of CVAC and member of the Rotary. And so I just want to recognize him here and thank him for all of his volunteer work and to say that it was a really fantastic evening. It was well attended and I wanna thank the administration, Jill, Sabrina, Jill, Christina.
Oh, thank you.
I mean, Sabrina, you do a lot too, but it was
She was there,
Christina
she was there.
and Lauren, so I wanna thank you for planning something really wonderful.
Yay, Lauren.
Yeah.
It was really nice.
And some of our town board members were there and it was nice to see our committee members as well. So, and I just want to also emphasize that we have a burn ban in effect in the town of Newcastle. And in fact, there's a statewide burn ban on all forms of open fires and burnings, and we just wanna emphasize extreme caution for everyone. Obviously, we're in a state of a drought warning that is, it's a drought watch. There are 4 levels of drought advisories. There's a watch, a warning, an emergency, and disaster. We're at the point of a drought watch, so we ask everyone to voluntarily conserve water. You can go on the DEC and DEP website to get ideas on what you can do, but just don't use water unnecessarily. I wanna mention that the Holocaust and Human Rights Committee will be having their Neighbors Bench again at the Farmers Market this Saturday, November 23rd, from 10 a.m. to 12 p.m. It's a really wonderful program. There is a bench. Usually a lot of people gathered around it, but if you sit on the bench, someone will come and sit next to you and you can have a nice conversation. It's a really great program for neighbors to get to know each other. So I encourage people to go by and say hello. Also, the Chappaqua Fire Department is having a holiday food drive in partnership with the Pleasantville Food Pantry, and they're collecting donations through December 15th. There are bins at the Chappaqua Firehouse, the Center Street Firehouse, at Town Hall here near the police station. And anywhere else? Was there a bin? Okay. Okay, and good news, the holiday lights will be going up. Is that right, next week?
Yes.
Can we promise that? Am I
I'm
speaking
not
too
hanging
soon?
them, so I'm
Right,
a
right.
little reluctant to promise it per se, but that we have been informed that either Monday, Tuesday, or Wednesday of next week, the lights will be up. So
Okay, so that should be very lovely.
if they're not up, then we can just publish the telephone number of the company to and then never have it.
Yes. Okay, and we have some congratulations and appreciation to give out, but I'm not sure people are here. Well, actually, I do see someone. You're right on time.
Vicky,
Only on Thursdays.
Yeah.
Vicky, Vicky, before you wrap up your report, I just wanted to say that today they actually changed it from a drought watch to a drought warning in our area.
Oh, okay, I did see it was a drought warning in other areas, but this was today.
Today.
Oh, okay, well, thank you for
You're
telling us, and let's hope that it does rain on Thursday like it's supposed to. Okay, I see some little football, are they here?
There's
saw
quite a
some.
few.
There's a few.
Yeah, there's quite a few.
Okay, well,
I'm not sure where they are.
since Evie's
They're
here,
awfully quiet.
Someone
They
yell
are very quiet.
fumble and see if they'll come in.
I just wanna start by recognizing Evie Rosen, who's here with us today. Evie reintroduced AOK Day to Chappaqua, the Acts of Kindness Day, which she had introduced in 2017. And I wanted to thank Evie, and we have a lot of committees who implement many programs, and we don't usually take time to thank them for every program at town board meetings, but I wanted to recognize Evie in particular because Evie is one person who came to me to reintroduce this program, and I just want to say that, you know, you don't need to be on a committee or have an official role in town government to do something really meaningful. And Evie, you did this on your own, and Evie I did ask the committee on mental resilience, which is a new committee, to help out. And I was hoping some of them could come here today as well. But Evie, this was really your brainchild, and we really appreciate your doing this practically as a one-woman team, and we're really very grateful. It created a lot of goodwill in town, and it actually went for more than a day. People kept getting mystery gifts, and it created a lot of buzz, and it was a lot of fun, and it made people feel good. And I know that there's so much more to it than just, you know, a good time in making people feel good. There's a lot of research on the neurology of doing this type of work, and I don't know, you know, you can talk about it if you want, but I just really wanted to recognize you and present you with a certificate of recognition here. So
unnecessary.
let's come to the microphone and we can all take a picture with you.
Oh my. Of course, my kids are all grown up and not here and they can't see this.
Right, but they'll see the picture.
Okay.
They can watch it on video. We're recorded.
They're at work.
We record, it's okay.
Better than sitting on your couch.
We do this. Chloe.
Okay.
So I wanted to read this too. We don't have the microphone.
Oh, do you want the mic?
That'd be. This is to Evie Rosen. In recognition of your dedication to bringing Acts of Kindness Day, ALK Day, back to the town of Newcastle, bringing awareness to the emotional, social, and physical benefits of performing acts of kindness. Your efforts remind us that one resident, one individual can work to bring positive change to an entire town. This is for you.
Thank you.
Thank you. I really loved seeing those signs
Me
all around.
too.
I still see them.
Oh, yeah.
And I have
You have to squeeze into guys.
Yep,
So we're gonna
yep,
take a
yep.
picture.
Not official.
Thank you. Turn this around. Yeah.
Thank you. Thank you. That was very kind of you all.
Thank you.
Yes, you're the one doing it.
Well, it is a pro-social behavior and there's a domino effect, so if I do something kind, you do something kind.
So play it forward.
It is paid forward.
Pay it forward, pay it forward.
Thank you, Evie. Maybe we'll do this again next year.
Yes, pay.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Okay.
They're so quiet. How was that? That a football team is this quiet?
It's crazy.
I saw them going like this to each other, so they're being really.
I think that's like a special recognition.
I agree.
Yes.
Albeit aged and everything, but we're still
Can we ask them to come in?
Still kicking.
Joe, do you wanna ask the football players to come in?
Sure.
I'm surprised they stayed outside.
And so, and really so
And
quiet.
so
I
quiet.
cannot see how quiet it's been, it's amazing.
Okay, guys, you ready? Discipline. First row. Take seats, first row.
Oh, wow. You know, I didn't, yeah, I couldn't download the thing, so I'm gonna have to read it. Wow, you guys were so quiet out there. We had no idea that you were all here. I thought no one was here. I was worried. Okay, it is really wonderful to see you all. We have some very special guests today. We have the champions of the, now Ally, you can tell me what the league is because you have a special person here, but we are welcoming the Titans. They are part of the Westchester Youth Football League, the 5-6 division, and they won the championship game of the season against Harrison. They won that game 16-0, but they were undefeated the entire season. And we have them here to congratulate them on their win, but not just on their win. We want to congratulate you for working so hard on a team together. You know, we know how important teamwork is, and it builds a lot of resilience, knowing how to work with a group, working on the things that are challenges for you, you know, sometimes passing the ball when you want to hold on to it, doing what's right for the team, and you know, learning how to get up when you fall in many ways, and for winning graciously and losing graciously, and learning a lot of lessons that are going to really serve you so well in life. So we want to say congratulations. We are so honored to have you here with us today, and I want to name all the members of the team and recognize all of you, and then we'll take a picture. I want to congratulate Easton Kaplow, Jackson Levin, Luke Schlesinger, Jorge Malbrano, Jared Davidson, Will Seek, Brody Applebaum, Max Telesco, Caleb Dolan, Maddox Meladasi, Adrian Hines, Julian Goldberg, Austin Smith, Tyler Hill, Harrison Hu, Dick Moss, let's see, Calvin Shalom, Amir Fatou, Landon Bukowski, Tyler Conrad, hang on now, more, Charles Grishman, Timmy McGinty, Linus Shalab, Todd Wilson, Ben Dealey, Hunter Sanchez, Luca Di Paola, Owen Mickelson, Ben Witherell, Garrett Gruber, Tyler Lefkowitz, Hunter Rothman, Chase Salon, Conklin Butler, and Tyler McCaffey. I want to congratulate the coaches, Eric Wilson, Alex Grishman, Chris Dealey, Kevin Kaplow, Kevin Wu, and last but not least, team manager and former town council person, Lauren Levin. And I want to congratulate and thank all the parents. We know this would not happen without your help, so congratulations and thank you to you too. So let's get a picture with the team. It's gonna be a big picture. But come up here and
Just kidding, guys. It's fine. We're just kidding. Everyone is here. You like that? I posted all the backup copies. First row, take an knee. Guys, first row, take a knee. Take a knee.
Caleb, get off your phone.
Get on your knees. Get on your knees. Get on your knees. Get on your knees. We're facing this way. Go on in front. Okay, everyone, yo, take it easy.
Good idea.
You're not. Get on your knees. You have to. Amir's calling to get in too. Just me.
Hold on, Jared. Jared, go in the middle.
Right there you go. Ready?
They can't see you. Good job, guys. All set.
Congratulations, boy. Thank you. Go team. 1, 2, can I
Learn about town government.
Everybody stand up. Everyone say thank you.
Thank you.
Bye, boys.
Congratulations
again.
We just got here.
Stay. You're welcome to stay.
Please put me on our newspaper. We don't even get money for it. Yeah, we should all get
Yeah, it's like you said you're still no, just friends.
Fifth, sixth.
So those are the grades, 5, 6 minutes grades. This is how little I know.
One of the head coach our class is not here. And his wife who's walking out. Gymnast.
Alright.
Like super athlete. Yes.
Okay, so let's get back to the meeting. We've reached the public comment period, so anyone with a public comment, please come up to the microphone. Can someone put the microphone back? I think Christina will do it. Thank you. Okay, please introduce yourself, even though we know you and where you live in town.
I'm Suzanne Chazen, I'm a town resident, and that's a hard act to follow. These guys were amazing, I couldn't believe how quiet they were, I've never ever seen that many kids so quiet. Anyway, Very sweet. I'm here tonight to talk about some problems I had with the Marist survey, which I've also been hearing other people having these same problems. I want to first of all stress this card that you got has nothing to do with me, and nothing to do with that card. Okay, I just want to be sure. The problem with the survey is, to me, it feels like from the very first time I was on the walking tour, right through the workshop sessions, it feels like there has been a continuous narrowing of a sense that I'm being led in a direction. I did participate in the spring envisioning walks. I was thrilled with the idea that we as a town could come together and talk about what we wanted. And the group I went on had a lot of good small stuff. Everything from sidewalk cuts, better signage at town hall, walking paths, maybe a seasonal splash park for the kids. I even made a point of taking pictures of all the different things that all the different groups and the different colors had written down. I even put them all down and I have them here. Lots of really good, small, important ideas. Then I went to the workshops and I noticed that already there was a narrowing. There were lots of options that were just gone. People in my group were saying, oh, this is, I guess, all I have. It already felt like we were being led in a direction. But I said nothing. I waited for the survey, which I, by the way, never got. So I finally had to go online, and we didn't throw it out, we just never got it. Just to go backwards, when I was actually doing the walking tour, I felt I was already being led. For instance, the person leading our tour, who was one of the consultants, when we stood before Town Hall, people willingly talked about how the front area felt like it needed some aesthetics and some landscaping. But then he said, but what do you think about the building? Do you like the building? And I thought, that seems kind of funny. That seems a little bit pushy. So then we get to the point where I actually see the survey. And I really felt that by the time we got to the survey, it was very, very clear to me that there was an agenda here. I finally get onto the survey, and I notice that there are only 2 questions on the survey that allow residents to say, I don't want this development, number 3 and number 8. Everything else on that survey was skewed towards development. Question number 4 asks us to prioritize the changes. Questions number 5, 6, and 7 are about building housing. If someone skips answering those because they don't want to build, already they're kind of diluted. It's almost like asking someone, are you always this quiet? If they answer yes or they answer no, basically they've answered the same way. And that's what this survey felt like. Ditto for renovating or rebuilding Town Hall. Question 10 allows a respondent to say they don't believe Town Hall needs a rebuild, which I'm not an expert, I don't know, but then already question 11 assumes it will be substantially renovated, and question 12 goes right into what amenities people want to see in their community center. And I'd like to remind the town that this community center that seems to be a big thing is a very expensive thing. It's first of all, already in town, we have a performing arts center. We have recreation programs at the high school gym. We have tons of programming space at the library. We talk about having something downtown, that's right across the street. We have a senior center. We have an arts center. We have programs in the schools. We have at least 4 private swim and tennis clubs in town, and we have a private athletic facility. So we have a lot of opportunities already for residents. This incredibly expensive thing is only going to marginally change that. We talk about town camp, and I'm all for kids having town camp. But if you're talking about a building big enough to have all indoor programs for the town camp, you're talking about something the size of the Boys and Girls Club in Mount Kisco, and that's just for the kids. So we are talking about a very, very expensive thing. But like I said, I feel like I'm already being led in that direction with this survey. Question number 17 asks if the respondents would support development if there was no net loss to parking, which to me is another way of saying, will you accept the garage? Because if you say, I support development, but I don't want a net loss to parking, well, that sounds like a garage question to me. So I think that if a person says, I don't want this development and I don't want a garage, how do you answer a question like that? It serves to dilute the voice of those who do not want these things. When I participated in the surveys, I talked about, and my group, by the way, were all this similar. It wasn't that I was different. We were talking about walking trails around the parking lot, more trees. There are no trees in the little playground behind the town hall. Nothing. In summer, that sun just beats down. People were talking about restrooms when town hall is closed. We're talking about a splash park for the kids, just a little one for the toddlers during the summer. Not a town pool, a splash park. Questions number 20, 21, 22, and 23 are also misleading because they all discuss financing, which assumes we want it. Also questions like, do you want to finance this through your taxes or have some outside, they didn't say outside developer, but do you want to finance this through your taxes or not? Basically it's the same thing saying, do you want your taxes raised or do you want an outside developer to be paying for things? Well, we know how that would go. If an outside developer is paying, they're not paying for our community center. What we're talking about is selling our town land for housing. And of course, we have a ton of questions that are just exactly like that. A whole bunch of the questions on that survey had to do with housing. So we have, I've written down all the questions. So the point is that it seems to me that when I finished the survey, I said, I definitely live in this town a long time, I have a different opinion. So I took an outsider whose opinion I trust. I took out all the pages, I printed them. I said, look at this survey and tell me, what are you reading into this? This person said, it appears to me that the town hall, the town board, wants to build or substantially renovate the town hall. They want to attach a brand new large community center. They recognize that this is a hefty expense and that they're looking to maybe offset that cost by selling some of the land for housing, and that they also recognize by doing all this, they will lose some of the commuter parking and they may have to build a garage. This was somebody who wasn't related to the town, had no knowledge, was simply reading the questions. And I said, that's exactly what I see. So I feel that this is a very, very strongly led survey. This is not an objective survey and it is not reflective of what the walking tours or the workshop sessions said. And I was in both and I even took pictures of those walking tour comments. This survey is not reflective of that. This feels reflective of an agenda that is not coming from the town. And so I have some real problems with it. Also, as you know, many people, myself included, did not get that survey. I had to go on to the mayor's site. I'm sure lots of people won't take that time. So I really think that you should rethink this and realize that the town and the residents are not necessarily behind what this looks like it is. Thank you.
Okay, thank you very much. Let's see, any other public comments? Nope, okay. Are there any comments online, Lauren? No.
No hand raised.
Okay. All right then, so then we will close the public comment. I will just mention to people watching that we will have a total of 3 mailings of the survey. We've had a second full survey mailing and we'll have a postcard that'll allow people to take the survey online. The survey was based on the responses we received during the engagement sessions, all of the responses that people gave during walking tours, engagement sessions and pop-ups at the farmers market are on the dedicated Envision News Survey website. People can go and take a look at that. Let's see. This survey was designed by Marispol independently. They took a look at what was said during the engagement sessions and they based all the questions on what everyone said. So this is a survey that addresses all of the feedback we received and not just, a few people's opinions. And people can respond as they wish. There will be further opportunities to write to the town board. We're going to provide an email address where those further emails can come in. I believe it's going to be to Christina so we can have a repository. Was that?
Probably public comment.
Public comment. Or to public comment.
Yeah, public comment.
So if there's any feedback that people think they didn't have a chance to convey on the survey, they'll be able to do that through written public comments. And that's really all I have to say. There are 18,000 residents of this town, and the survey is meant for everyone to apply to various wishes and needs of our residents. And we will wait and we'll hear what Marist has to say. They're a well-regarded survey company and they're doing this independently. So they will present their findings in public at the end of the year. I'm not sure if, because we extended it, because we added a mailing, I'm not sure whether we'll be able to keep to that end of year schedule. It may have to go over to the first of next year because we did extend it. We recognized that because of printing delays, the first survey went out later than promised. It was supposed to be out beginning of October. It arrived in mailboxes during the early voting period, and we recognized that people had possibly thrown them out. So we had a second mailing that was not expected with a Clear Envision logo on the envelope. And we're still having the postcard mailed out as well. So we'll have a total of 3 mailings as opposed to the original 2. And we will add that written comment opportunity for further comments. And that's all. We will await the results and the board will see what makes sense to us. We'll synthesize the responses and we'll end up with a proposal to the community at the end of the day. Okay. So let's see, let's move on to what is next on the agenda.
Public hearing?
Yep, we have a public hearing. And we have a public hearing to amend the provisions of chapter 9, the Code of Ethics. So let's see. Lino, do you want to?
Sure, this is a local law, the public hearing tonight is on this local law which amends the qualification of ethics board members. So in the past, you had there were 4 criteria for qualification of an ethics board member. One of them was that, and I'll quote, not more than 3 members of the Board of Ethics may be members of the same political party. This proposed local law proposes to remove that and to renumber, so there'll be 3 criteria, and that will be stricken from the requirements of an ethics board member. I will say I've been doing this for a while, and it's a bit unusual to have that provision in there, so I just thought it was a good idea to have it removed and just keep the remaining qualifications as they are, because those are fairly typical that I've seen before, but that one was an unusual one, so I would recommend it be removed.
Yeah, we did note that it was unusual and it was getting in the way of us getting, the best person that we felt, was right for the position, and we always want to leave these positions open for the best person that the board think will perform the duties of the position.
I agree. It was, in our discussion as to vacancies and that 4th criteria was brought to my attention. It was the first I even knew about it, and it seems strange to have such a requirement. It doesn't seem relevant in my opinion. It shouldn't be relevant. We're asking people to hold themselves above any sort of political party and to focus on ethics, and for our community to be an outlier and have such a requirement wasn't sitting right with me. I don't wanna speak for anybody else, but I don't think it's necessary, and I think to Vicky's point, it gets in the way of appointing the best possible person for our ethics board.
I think also posing the question of party affiliation gets dodgy when you're interviewing people for a committee. It just seems like an awkward question and maybe not even ethical to ask it.
Just shouldn't matter,
Yeah.
right? Just shouldn't matter.
That's the irony of that provision.
Right.
Yes. Alright, but seeing that this is does anyone else want to?
I support the
Express
change, very simply, I support the change. One
Okay.
party doesn't define their level of ethical interaction
Correct.
and
Right.
understandings, so
Well put.
I'm all for it.
I have nothing else.
Okay.
Thank you, Lena.
Alright, so would anyone like to make a let's open the public hearing. May I have a motion to open the public hearing?
So moved.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Okay, so anyone with a comment, please either come up to the microphone or okay, seeing that there's no one in the audience with public comment, is there anyone online?
Nobody online.
Okay,
Not a hot topic.
alright. Well, in that case, I would suggest that we close the public hearing and keep the record open for written comments until Friday at noon.
That'd be fun, thank you.
Okay. Okay, may I have a motion
So
to do
moved.
that?
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye, okay. Okay, thank you. Alright, that brings us to our consent agenda. Let's see, Holly, do you wanna start?
Yes, as soon as I find my resolution.
It's okay, we can start, it's okay, we'll come back around to you. Ally, do you wanna?
I move to adopt the items 1 through 11 as listed on the consent agenda.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
I'm sorry. Okay,
Hang on.
we'll do the seeker separately.
What page is that?
Yes.
It's in
It's-
our
The back of
packet.
It's in our packet. Jeremy, I'll let you do it since you read fast. We'll get to it,
Okay, I got
let's
it.
keep going. Do you have it? I have it.
Okay, I move, should I do resolution, first resolution?
Yes.
I move to retroactively approve the payment of claims amount of $577,000, $21.59 listed on the summary AP check register and detailed voucher reports dated November 15th, 2024. Checks were printed and distributed to each claimant listed Friday, November 15th, 2024.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Okay,
Is this
Number 2.
hang on.
Or do you want me to?
Wait, we're getting a resolution that we didn't get in the resolutions packet.
Sit here.
So we have 2, 3,
Yeah.
4, and 5, and then we
Yes,
got
that's
the
it.
seeker.
Yes.
Okay,
That's
so
it.
then,
Well,
well, I think it goes to page 1.
turn that
2.
one around. And
Yeah,
that's
4,
the
yeah, okay.
final
Alright, so this is a resolution in support of the town of Newcastle's environmental determination in accordance with the State Environmental Quality Review Act for decommissioning the Upper Minkle Dam. Whereas the town of Newcastle took possession of the Upper Minkle Dam in 2001 as part of the 41-acre Sunny Ridge property located at 231 Colton Dam Road. And whereas there was a the New York State DEC dam safety selection regulations would require the Upper Minkle Dam to be classified as a Class C high hazard dam. There were concerns given that it was a Class C high hazard dam involving, among other things, high insurance premiums and long-term maintenance costs. Therefore, whereas the town board evaluated the environmental significance of the areas where a moderate to large impact may occur and discussed the Upper Minkle Dam decommissioning project negative declaration dated June 14th, 2024. Now therefore it be resolved that the proposed project will not have any significant effect on the environmental and draft EIS will not need to be prepared, and the impacts that could potentially occur during project activities will be mitigated with use of the best management practices. It therefore resolved that this resolution take effect immediately. Is that okay?
Second.
May I have a second?
Okay.
All in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Thank you very much, Jeremy. Okay, that was good. Okay. Jen, do you wanna continue? We have number
Yes, number 2.
number 2.
I move to accept
Which is
the
number 3.
resignation of Pat Pollock from the position of member of the Committee on Mental Resilience, Committee on Inclusion and Belonging, and the Holocaust and Human Rights Committee, effective November 19th, 2024. The town would like to thank Pat for her dedicated service to our town.
Second.
Okay, we will miss you, Pat. Thank you for your service to our town.
Absolutely.
All in favor, please say aye.
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 I move to authorize the appointment of June Boyle as member of the Conservation Board for a term of 2 years, effective November 19th, 2024 through December 31st, 2026.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Aye. Go ahead, Holly, yep.
I move to authorize the town administrator to sign the letter of agreement and general release regarding police officer number 166.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
I move to authorize the town of Newcastle to initiate legal action against Transit Construction to recover monies due to the town in connection with the New York State DOT Route 120 culvert replacement project.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
I move to authorize change order with Marist Poll for an additional mailing for the total amount of $7,000.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Okay, I think that does it for the resolution. Did we miss anything? Jill, I think we've got everything. Okay,
I move to adjourn.
Second.
all in favor? Aye. We are hereby adjourned. Thank you, everyone.
Thank you.
Have a good evening.
Oh, that's heavy.
So can you remind me, what are our meetings for the balance of the year?